You want to be in the cold open this week? Alright. Yeah, alright. Yeah. You do this enough, eventually you'll be as famous as Goose Hellbig, huh? Hey guys, Sean here, aka ShabeRaven, as you may have noticed from the name of my channel, which I believe is somewhere up there, right? Or from the links to all my social media, which is at the end of the video. It usually is around right here, or down in the, I believe the term is the doobly-doo at the bottom. There are links to all of my social media there. You may be asking yourself, ShabeRaven? What is that? And why... Do you even pronounce it that way? Okay, yeah. So let me get started on that. We'll start with the simple part. That's the raven part, a raven. We know what a raven is. It's a bird. It's a big bird. It's related to crows. There's a famous poem about it. That's kind of where it comes in. When I was in... Oh, here we go again with the aging myself. When I was in the middle school, I would say, in the middle school, yeah, that's what people say. Much like a majority of you watching this video, when I was in middle school, there was a popular animated series called The Simpsons. The only difference being that when I was in middle school, it hadn't been on that long. I believe it started when I was in grade school, and it had only been on for like 1 or 2 seasons when I got to middle school. Of course, anyone born in the last 25 years, it was on when they were in middle school. Actually, anyone born in the last 35 years, it was on when they were in middle school. I digress. In one of those early seasons, they did an episode which became a tradition from that point forward. It was the Treehouse of Horror. It was the first Treehouse of Horror. It's where it gets the name, the Treehouse of Horror. Bart, Lisa, and Maggie are in their treehouse, and they're trying to, well, I say they, obviously Maggie's not. Bart and Lisa are trying to tell the most scary story they can to scare the other one. In the first segment, Bart tries to scare his sisters by telling them a story called Bad Dream House, in which the Simpsons move into a house that ends up being haunted, and in the end it ends up destroying itself rather than spending life with the Simpsons. In the third segment, Bart tells his sisters a story about aliens who they think are trying to eat them, but it turns out they're just having a feast in their honor. Spoilers for a show that is almost 30 years old. The middle segment, though, Lisa recites a famous poem by Edgar Allan Poe called The Raven. I really enjoyed this segment when I was a kid, and when I got to high school, I actually did a report on the poem The Raven. I read an essay that Edgar Allan Poe had written about how he had come to writing the poem The Raven and why he had chosen a raven in the first place and all those very interesting things. One of the most fascinating things to me is the fact that he chose a raven because it's one of the few black birds that you can actually teach to talk. Not many people realize that. The phrase "quote the raven nevermore" is, world famous, but people don't realize you could actually teach a raven to say nevermore, which is shocking. No one has. In fact, I should search YouTube and see if there is a video of an actual raven saying nevermore. Give me 1 second. Okay. So I just found a slightly disturbing video of a raven who I would say the owner, I'm guessing, must have said to it many, many, many times, say nevermore, because it keeps repeating that phrase, say nevermore. It's kind of disturbing, the vocal quality that is coming out of this bird. I'll actually put a link down below in the doobly-doo, as John Green would say, and you can watch it for yourself. It's actually pretty fascinating to watch. So, needless to say, I've been fascinated with ravens from that point forward. However, they are not my most favorite animal. As you saw from the beginning of this video and before, the cats I prefer over ravens. And also, my favorite animal is koalas. I've actually loved them since I was a child. And part of that is because if not for the fact that they are doped up on eucalyptus all the time, they would probably take over the world, because we always say that humans are the top species of the planet because we have opposable thumbs. Well, koalas actually have 2 opposable thumbs on each hand, so that makes them twice as deadly. Luckily, they're high all the time, so we don't have to worry about it. So that explains the Raven part of my channel name. So what is this shape? Where does that come from? Because that's the weird word. Well, first off, it is definitely pronounced shabe. I have had so many people pronounce it as Shabi, which never has made any sense to me, because there is a word that is S-H-A-D-E, that is pronounced shade. If you turned the D into a B, it wouldn't then be Shabi, it would just be shabe. Why is that so hard? I know it's a made-up word that I made up, but where did that come from? Well, to tell the truth, I didn't actually make it up per se. When I first got on the internet, I was actually a very late bloomer to the internet. I don't think that's the right term, but let's go late logger. I was a late logger to the internet. I didn't get a computer that could run the internet until about 99. I know that's I know that to some of you that's like 99. Why is that such a big? I wasn't even conceived of by that point. Yeah, I understand. It's YouTube. Skewed young. But I had already graduated high school by that point. So it was kind of a big deal that I was that late to getting a computer. So it was sometime around, I'm going to say 2000 maybe. I was on one of those sites where it's like, here's how you can find out this, here's how you can find out that, you know, basically what BuzzFeed is now. One of the sites, it had a Star Wars name generator. I will find a link to that as well and put that down below because, hey, why not? Links in the doobly-doo. That's awesome.
I can't seem to get the internet working. Check back in just a sec.
Okay, apparently something I said triggered Cortana. I didn't mean to talk to you, Cortana. I am sorry. So the main crux of this Star Wars name generator is it will create your first name, your last name, and where you're from. The where you're from part was always stupid because it combines 2 things from your life, and that doesn't really make any sense because that's not really how I picture Star Wars places being named. It's just combining 2 words. That, I mean, Tatooine is not... Wait, Tattoo... Halloween? So I never cared about that part, but the making your name part I actually liked. I've used this name many, many times, especially in Star Wars games since then. So the first part of it is you take the first 3 letters of your first name and the first 2 letters of your last name. So for me, that is S-H-A and then B-E. So there it is, Shabe. So around that same time, there was a new multiplayer online role-playing game based around superheroes called City of Heroes. I was in the beta for it, and I was a subscriber to it from the day it launched all the way to the day that it finally ended 7 years later. The main character I created in that game was named ShabeRaven, with a D, and the second character I named after my Star Wars name. In signing up for the game, I decided to make a new email address that kind of combined the 2 names. So it was, I just decided to go with ShabeRaven, all in one word. And from that point forward, anything on the internet that I have signed up for with ShabeRaven. So if you check on Xbox Live or PSN or Battle.net or Steam or Twitter or Tumblr or YouTube or even ShabeRaven.com, or you just Google ShabeRaven, you'll find me. There's no one else out there. Hopefully. Now this is the part kind of where it gets scary because I am using that, which is essentially now my gamer tag. That's what is most important to me, is as my gamer tag on Xbox Live. I'm using that as my branding name now, kind of, while doing this, whatever this is that I am trying to do here. And that's gonna end up being a problem eventually, because I know plenty of people who have their, you know, their name that they go by, their gamer tag or their, you know, game name, their internet name, whatever it is, and they're well enough known that now people actually use that when they sign up for new things. I know Brizzy Voices, who is a famous well, I say I know her. I've met her a few times here and there. I know that she recently, when she signed up for Pokemon Go, couldn't use the name Brizzy Voices because someone had already taken it. I have a friend, Starslayer, who many times when trying to sign up for things has not been able to use the name Starslayer because it has been taken by other people. And she even spells it with a elite 3 at the end, but still people have already taken that. So that is one of my biggest fears of doing this whole thing, is that down the line, I'm going to have to be really cautious to, if anything comes up that I want to sign up for, that I have to get on it immediately so that the name ShabeRaven isn't taken. That is assuming this actually takes off and this ends up being anything and I end up getting more than 3 subscribers than I have right now. Which, I mean, hopefully, I'd like that, but, you know, whatever. So there you have it. That's the weird, bizarre story of what is ShabeRaven, what this weird name up here, what it down there, what in a few seconds when it appears here, what that is. So let me know down in the comments. You all have usernames on YouTube. Do you use that username for other things? Is that a name that you kind of like, is that kind of your online persona that you go by? And are you ever afraid that people may take it when you go into other online realms? Or have you ever had a situation where you go into another online realm and it's already been taken? And does that just make you go, why would someone take that? That makes no sense why someone would use that name. So that's it for this week. Next week I have something special to announce. It's semi-special. I mean, you'll see when we get to it. I mean, obviously. So until then, I will... How do I end these? Alright. See ya.